Today we'll be doing the Cocomelon cake. I started off with 4 layers of vanilla cake. Right now I'm just trimming off the edges because I need a curved top to my cake. Okay, so right now I'm going to start doing a rough coat or a crumb coat to get ready to prepare my cake for fondant. Going to ice it over really well, and then we're going to refrigerate it. Icing over curves with a spatula sometimes is a little difficult, so I do have a tool that I'll be using in a minute to help me smooth out the curves. Now we're rolling out fondant to cover our Cocomelon cake. I'll be using this picture as a reference as I decorate. I'll be honest, sometimes it takes me 2 good tries to make sure I have rolled out enough fondant to cover my cake, but let's try this one and hopefully I can get it done in one shot. I'll be using this piece of PVC pipe to help lift my fondant and put it onto the cake. My rolling pin happens to be not long enough, and so I like to use the PVC pipe, which is long, about 3 feet. Now I'll be covering my cake and smoothing it all around to get a perfect cover. Now that my cake is completely covered, I see that I have a couple wrinkles and imperfections in my fondant. So I take this paste made with fondant and water and a spatula and cover up the wrinkles and some of the imperfections at the bottom. Now I'm making fondant stripes to cover my Cocomelon baby. I'm using my little water brush to stick my stripes on. It's a brush I got from Wilton. It has water in it. Sometimes too much comes out, so I squeeze a little on the side and use the brush at the end to brush on the water. Yeah, I decided that this stripe wasn't looking quite like I wanted it to look, so I had to taper my stripes. So this one I had to alter a little bit from the beginning. And we'll use the same technique to do the rest of the stripes. taken the picture and cut the face out. I'll be using the cutout as a template to trace onto the cake and also to cut out my face in fondant. Now I'm using that same template to make my eyes, mouth, and nose for Cocomelon. Okay, at this moment I am putting pieces onto the cake, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. You can't see, but don't worry, my camera crew will fix that any minute now. Oh, there we go. Now putting on the eye, I mistakenly touched my wet finger to my light pink fondant from the black fondant and gave my Cocomelon a bruise on his face, so I had to start his face all over. Now that his face is all fixed, we're working on Cocomelon's hat. We used Rice Krispie treats underneath the pink fondant, and we used wire covered in purple fondant, and the balls on the end are made with Rice Krispie treats covered in a turquoise colored fondant. Yeah, I love gloves, but sometimes I need the warmth of my hands and the smoothness of my hands to smooth out decorations. Now, after assessing the cake and the comments of the camera crew, we've realized that Cocomelon's hat is a little too big. So we're removing the antennas, and we're going to take off the hat, and we're going to resize it to make it a little smaller. Alright, so now I have taken the hat and made it a little bit smaller. You can see there's a scrap piece on the table. But to my left, there's a new hat, and we're going to roll out a whole new piece of fondant to cover up that hat. Okay, the new hat fits so much better. And now we're just placing on the letters for the child's name. His name is Mason, and we've already pre-cut out fondant letters and let them dry slightly. As you can see, some of my letters have powdered sugar on them from where I rolled them out. Using a spray bottle, I sprayed on grain alcohol just to dissolve that sugar. And now our cake is finished. Final little spin for the camera. Just to show you that making cakes isn't always a perfect world, I'm going to show you this little blooper we had with our camera malfunction while I was making this cake.
If you think freedom is free, you better think again. So get on the bus, ladies. Rock and roll. Let's rock and roll.
Never heard that part.
Did it hit the cake?
It did, but I don't think it hurt it. It hit it right there.
Wow, okay.
You